Hi, my name is Nick Scazzaro, and I'm going to give you a tour of StudyHub. So this is our first website called physicsisbeautiful.com. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is our course page. It has a number of different modules, each of which covers a different topic, and the content follows NGSS standards, which are next generation science standards. Let's go ahead and look at a question. Okay, so what velocity is the object moving in the graph? And you'll see that we have a multiple choice question type. I know that the answer is 2 meters per second. There we go. We'll do one more. What velocity is the object moving in the graph? So this one's now negative 2 meters per second. But multiple choice question types can get a little bit boring, so what we've done is to develop a number of more interactive question types, and I'll give you a demo of one of those, which is our vector question type. So here we are. On the grid, draw a vector pointing to the left. So you'll see that in this question type, you're actually drawing vectors. Draw a vector pointing north, and I'll show you what happens if you get an incorrect answer. So this is not in the plus x direction, and it shows you what the correct solution was. But this goes a little bit further, so let's go back, and those questions get a little bit more difficult, and then you get to this draw vector game, which is timed and feels kind of like a test. But the point is that it's a question type that's essentially a game. And then I'll do a wrong answer. Okay. So let's say that I'm a teacher and I really like this content and I want to share it with my students. How would I do that? Well, we've built in a classroom feature. So here I'm going to click on the teacher tab, and you can link your Google Classrooms. So it just connected to Google and pulled in the classrooms that I have there. Or you can just create a classroom from scratch without Google Classroom integration. You can copy the code to the class and share it with your students and create assignments. So here's an assignment that had 3 students. The first student completed 1 out of the 2 lessons in that assignment. You can go in and manage this assignment and edit it. So instead of motion graphs 1 and motion graphs 2, I can go in and add vectors 1, for example. But teachers can also change the content that their course is using. So right now, this course is using this default curriculum, but they can change their course. They can either create a new curriculum, or we can go ahead and browse other courses. So let's say that you're a teacher and you like the content in the default curriculum, but you want to change it just a little bit to better suit your class. What you can do is click Fork to Curriculum Studio. So this is very similar to doing a fork in GitHub, for example. And then the teacher can go in and they can change it to, say, AP Physics 1. And now they can go in and start dragging and dropping, rearranging content. Or, for example, we saw earlier this vectors 1 question. They can go in, let's say instead of pointing to the left, they want to change it to pointing to the right. Well, they can just click it, and then instead of having it pointing to the left, they just click change it to pointing to the right, and it's done. They can click Open Student View, and now that question has been updated so that the answer is now pointing to the right, and everything else is now the same. So they can navigate back and continue editing where they left off. You can also easily create new questions. So let's go in and create a new multiple choice question. Let's give it text, what is the unit for distance? Let's give it a few answer options such as seconds, meters, or newtons. And the correct answer is meters. And then how about let's put this as the very first question in this lesson. And then I'll say open student view. And we now have our new question, meters. It's that easy. But we're actually just finishing a new version of our editor that even allows you to change the code behind the question type. So you can build your own question type or modify existing question types. So let's check that out. So this is the new version of our editor. On the left-hand side, you have the list of questions that are part of the lesson. What you see on the right-hand side, we have the question type exactly as the student sees it and that we saw earlier. And you can just switch to edit mode. So let's say I want to edit this. Now I've changed that question. But you can even go further. So let's say I think that I think it's a little bit boring. It's all gray. So let's change that up. Let's get a bit more colorful button. So what I can do is I can directly go into the code and start editing it. So here I've just added a more colorful button. So this is the first choice, this is the second choice. I'm going to save that, and then go right back to the present mode, and you can see that now we have the more colorful button. Our vision is that people all over the world will be able to use this tool to create brand new, innovative question types and share them at a click of a button. For example, instead of using multiple choice questions to teach grabs, anyone can create, say, an interactive graph question type in which the user draws a graph as their answer, or you could make a timed graph drawing game. With access to the code, the options are limitless. So with that, I'll conclude. I hope you enjoyed this demo of StudyHub, and thank you for watching.